Hey guys, Gamma the Power here, showing you your basics in Blender. If you have not already downloaded Blender, you should get it off of www.blender.org. Blender is a game designing and animation designer, so if you have any interest in that, this is the way to go. So you'll start off with that screen I was just on. So just press 7 on your number pad on your keyboard and make sure that number lock is turned on so that you can actually use the numbers. So that'll take you to a view like this. Today we're not going to really use anything that's already here, so press A. So now nothing's selected. A again, and then X. Okay, would you like to delete? Yes, just click that. Okay, so now there's pretty much nothing except for this grid. By the way, the controls I'm going to be saying are all for the Windows version of Blender. So like for Windows, you can use your middle button on your mouse to move around the screen like that. But for Mac, you have to press Alt and then click and move your way around the screen. Okay, so we're just gonna look at the different types of cubes and things that you can make. So first off, there's a plane. It looks like a box. It is just a box, completely two-dimensional. So you can press X and delete that. We're gonna use a cube now. Three-dimensional. So to make all these things, you just go to Add, Mesh, whatever you want. A circle's like the plane. It's completely 2D. You notice that those arrows just went away. I pressed Control Space to make them go away. So there's just the circle. A UV sphere. This is pretty much just a regular old sphere. And it doesn't look, it kind of looks a little like a grid. So just press Shading Smooth and it'll look like that. If you don't have this toolbar, then just press T and it'll appear like that. Icosphere. You'll notice that this is a much more rigid body, and it's actually in grid types of triangles and pentagons. So you can also change the subdivisions, just like clicking down here. There's 0 subdivisions. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here at 4, it kind of looks like a golf ball, so that's what you would use for a golf ball. So add cylinder. Again, you press X, as in X-ray, to delete your previous object. So just a regular old tube kind of thing, a cylinder. A cone. Makes me hungry. I'm I'm actually not even thinking of ice cream cones. I'm thinking of a snow cone. So you could use this like as a spear tip or arrow tip. a drill bit maybe, a hat, a castle peak, just stuff like that. Again, I'm pressing 7 on the number pad to go into this kind of view. Now let's add a little more advanced of an item, a monkey. It actually looks like a monkey, doesn't it? So if you want to change perspective mode off, this is perspective mode. Press 5 and you'll see it from a, for the most part, 2D point of view, except for it'll still be 3D when you're rotating around it, but you'll see it as 2D from every side. When I say 2D and 3D, I mean two-dimensional as in a drawing, or three-dimensional as in a object. Like a box on your paper compared to a cube in real life, like in a cardboard box. So I'm just going to smooth this out. Looks kind of strange, but still better than the grid piece. Get rid of that. Taurus. This is just a ring. You could use it as a bracelet, a ring, a donut. You could scale it up. Wait, scale. Okay. Well, now I'm going to go back to. No, I'm actually going to change to metaballs. So there's just a random ball. You'll notice it's already pretty smooth. Not all the way smooth, but still pretty smooth. Now keep that there. Go over here, just click there, and add another metaball, or anything in the metaball category. I'm going to add a cube. You'll notice that it kind of warped to the other thing. Control Z to go back. I placed it a little too close. See? Like that. The metaball has like, the two metaballs have joined together in complete unison. So I'm going to snap my cursor back to the grid by clicking near the center and pressing Shift S, cursor to grid. So I'm going to add another plane and show you a little bit about the physics of this engine. So I pressed S and now I'm pressing 5 to scale it up. You can also use your cursor, just whichever you prefer. I prefer the numbers because it makes it a little more precise. Add a cube. Now press G as in grab, Z as in the axis, 1 as in how far you want it to go. So I told it just to go up 1. So if I do it again from this view, G, Z, 1. And then I can left click to apply it or right click to cancel it. So let's bring it up about 3 notches. Take it to the left about 2. So type GX -2. Now let's rotate it. R Y 9 8. No, let's just RY 30. Let's just do 30. RX 30 again. So you'll notice that if it were to fall, it's not gonna just land flat. So let's make it fall. Right now, if I press the P button, I'll show you what'll happen. It'll just stay there. Nothing happens. Absolutely nothing. Now press escape. Go back to your one point of view. And now this is the physics button. If you just hover over it, it says physics. So you're going to want to change this to Blender Game. Blender Game is game designing and Blender Render is animation. So Blender Game. Change this to a dynamic body and set its collision bounds to be a box with zero margin. Margin is pretty much how much space there is between it and the object it's colliding with. Okay, now let's try this out. So, it did fall. Actually, I'm going to change. No, I'll do that in a later lesson too. Just go keep this at 1. Play. So, it did fall. But it stayed on that corner. So if we rotate it some more, I'm just going to do 30, then it still stays on the corner. So change it to a rigid body. There we go. I'm going to add a light just so that it's easier to see. I'm going to add it up over here. Okay, move it upwards 20. Okay, there we go. You can see better now. It's not all white anymore. So that's how you apply physics and the basics of Blender. So most tutorials will show you physics as one of the last lessons that it shows you, but I think it's a good first lesson just so that it shows you the dimensions and stuff of the objects that you're going to be working with. So I'm going to do physics with a few more things. Let's do a monkey. I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees. Wrong axis, sorry. Rotate Y 90. Grab Z2. Oh no, it's upside down. Rotate Y 180. There we go. It's right side up now. So grab Z3. Just moved it up a little bit more. Now I'm going to apply physics to this as well. Dynamic. No, rigid body. Or you can set a soft body. A soft body is like a bouncy ball. Okay. So you just have to click the rigid to soft body. And then there are other things like, actually I haven't even used any of those other things yet. Okay, well, that's the end of the first tutorial. Hope you guys like the video, subscribe, watch my other tutorials. You know, just pretty much what any YouTuber wants you to do.